Let's talk about day 4 with our political panel. Former Republican Governor Scott Walker and former Democratic candidate for governor Mahlon Mitchell, who's also president of the Professional Firefighters of Wisconsin and a DNC at-large member. All right, all eyes are on Joe Biden tonight and his big speech. Mahlon, your firefighters union has endorsed Joe Biden for president, but we have not seen a lot of Joe Biden since he wrapped up the nomination. What do you want to see him say tonight?
Well, we were actually, the firefighters, we were the first international union to endorse Vice President Biden for a lot of reasons. But quite frankly, because we need a president that can bring this country together. Tonight, as has been well chronicled, is probably the biggest speech of Joe Biden's long tenured career of public service. But really, it's about bringing this country together. And who can do that better than Joe Biden? Right now, me and Governor Walker probably don't agree with much when it comes to policy. But I agree with Governor Walker when he said in 2015 or 16, I believe, he said Trump runs directly at odds with the core beliefs and principles of this country. So I think Joe Biden's going to do tonight a stark contrast between what Donald Trump is about, which is himself, and what Joe Biden is about, and that's building back better and building America for all people.
Governor Walker, these nights are about making a stark contrast. What do you say when you hear Mahlon talk about where you were a few years ago and the president you see right now?
Well, you talked about him not having been out very publicly since the nomination was shored up. He hasn't been here at all. Literally in 2019 and 2020, since Joe Biden kicked off his campaign, he's never made a visit to Wisconsin. Obviously, that was a blow to Hillary Clinton blowing off Wisconsin 4 years ago. It seems like Joe Biden's doing the same. And in this speech, he's going to try to talk about being someone new, something fresh, something different. But this is a guy who's been a part of the Washington establishment now for 4 decades. He's the part of the problem. Donald Trump, in contrast, is the maverick who stands up and fights for the forgotten men and women of this country. And I think that'll play well here in Wisconsin.
So Joe Biden gets the last word tonight, but next week the Republicans will have a chance to give the last word when they hold their convention in North Carolina. And Governor, you've knocked the Democrats and Joe Biden for not coming to Wisconsin, not only just now, but also on Twitter. But the Republican convention is going to be pretty similar. It's going to be pretty much all virtual. And the president is talking about giving an acceptance speech in Washington, not at the convention. So what's really the difference
It is
here?
right. Well, the difference is that he's actually come and spoke to the voters. Donald Trump was here this week. Mike Pence was here this week safely. In fact, I know the retort will be that somehow it's not safe to be out. But Mahlon, on your website, there's an event coming up, a charity event for firefighters and police officers this Saturday in Beaver Dam. It's going to be just as safe there as it has been at these events this week. They're not hiding out. They're actually talking to the voters. And even though both conventions will be virtual, understandably, you don't want to have 50,000 people together, but you can find ways to meet with voters. That's exactly what Donald Trump and Mike Pence have been doing this week. And sadly, we haven't seen Joe Biden once in the state of Wisconsin. I think voters will take note of that.
Do you think, Mahlon, voters will take notice and that Joe Biden does have to come to Wisconsin sometime between now and November 3rd?
Well, if it were normal times, Joe Biden would have been here multiple times. We're in a global pandemic. So it's not like he doesn't want to come here. He's following, again, science and what the doctors advise us to do. And when Joe Biden or Donald Trump go somewhere, it's not just them flying somewhere. They are bringing Secret Service agents. They're bringing a whole host load of staff. And then they're congregating more people for unnecessary events. So what the vice president is doing is listening to science. It's not that he doesn't want to come here. You can't compare it to what Hillary did, because Joe Biden would be here if it wasn't for the global pandemic.
Mahlon Mitchell and former Governor Scott Walker, we will see you tonight. Thank you both.